everybody. So I'm hoping I can make this video quick. I am headed to the grocery store and I've got just a few errands to run, but I don't have the time to really do like a sit down pregnancy update. But I wanted to pop my head in and just thank everybody for, you know, your congratulations. People who are like, you know, personal friends of mine who have just sent their, you know, congratulations and well wishes for both me and Clarence. I just kind of want to give everybody a backstory. I know I've mentioned on my channel 2 or 3 times that we were trying to conceive, and that I don't think I went into full detail. Well, I know I didn't go into full detail about how difficult of a journey it was for us, but it was, and it wasn't. Hindsight is 2020. When I think about it, you know, it really was just all about God's timing. But we have been trying since about 2017 August, so literally 2 years. Like, you know, why isn't this happening? Like, what's wrong with us? We feel like we got pregnant with Caden so quickly, and this child just seemed like it took a while. Back in February, I went to my personal doctor, my OBGYN. I got fully checked from, you know, just checked. And she was like, you know, everything's fine. Like, everything is fine. You know, you've got a healthy womb. You're healthy. Like, there's nothing wrong. And so she did tell me that she wanted to follow up. And if I was not pregnant by, I think she said June or July, that she wanted to see me again. And I came in, and she also suggested that we, you know, have Clarence checked, make sure everything is good with him, make sure his sperm count is good, all of that, which he in fact did, and everything was great with him. So we were really perplexed, like, why is this not happening? I found out that I was pregnant with this child in August. So 2 years to the date of us starting our trying to conceive journey, we found out that we were pregnant with this child. I have been checked for everything under the sun, you know, that I can be at this point, and everything is good and healthy, and baby's good and healthy, and there's no issues. I don't know why this part of my hair is frizzy. Anyways, you know, so baby's good. We are at week 10, so I have about, some people would say 2, some people would say 3. I'm just going to say 3 to be on the safe side. I have 3 more weeks and I'll officially be in my 3rd trimester. As far as symptoms go, I have not had any. Let's see. With Caden, I was extremely sick from the rip. I found out I was pregnant with him at the 4-week mark, same way I did with this child. The day of my missed period, I found out that I was pregnant with Caden, and I felt like I was sick from, you know, that moment until like week 12 or 13. With this child, I had, I guess you would say, bouts of nausea, but never any throwing up. I had tender boobs. That was about it. And at first I had an aversion to food, so I lost like 5 or 6 pounds like the first 2 or 3 weeks, that after finding out, just because I could not eat, like didn't want to eat, didn't have an appetite, food just sounded disgusting to me. Yeah, just wasn't feeling the whole let's eat. Now your girl stay hungry, but yeah, before, like, I was not hungry at all. So that's something that's really different. As far as how we found out, like I said, I found out on August the 8th. I'll try to insert some clips or pictures because pretty much I was at home, Clarence was at work, and it had gotten to maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock that afternoon, and my period hadn't started. And I just felt like that's awkward and weird, because this may be TMI, but I am a like clockwork person. Before Caden, I was like clockwork. After Caden, I'm like clockwork. Like, the day it's supposed to come is the day it's supposed to come. I'm never late or anything like that. And if it's due on that day, then it will come typically that morning. It had gotten to be about 2 or 3 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock that afternoon. I hadn't seen it, and because we had been on this journey, I had one more first response test that kind of alerts you 6 days prior to. And I said, well, let me take it. By then, Caden had gotten, he was out of school. I think we had just finished his homework. He was downstairs watching some TV and eating a snack. And I, something said, just kind of take it and be done with it. Like, see or no, just know you're not pregnant, and maybe it'll be here tomorrow. So I take the test. I felt like I had a pinch of seeing it, and it like instantly, but I didn't think anything of it, and I kind of slipped it back into that little sleeve that it comes out of, and I stuck it on top of the Xfinity box in our bedroom, and kind of just was doing my thing. Like, it, 3 minutes has to go by. I want to say like 10 minutes went by maybe, and I just kind of flipped it over right before I was about to walk outside, or walk back downstairs to check on Caden. And it had 2 lines on it. And I was just like, holy shit. Like, what, Craig? What? Call Day Day, Pookie, and Ray right now. This is not real. Like, I don't know. So the first thing I did was call Clarence. I FaceTimed him. At that point, I had actually walked downstairs just because I had to make sure Caden was okay. That's like still the mom in me, you know what I'm saying? Went to make sure he was okay. I FaceTimed him when I was on my way down, and he didn't answer. Again, he was at work. And so then he FaceTimes me right back, and he's like, what's up? And I'm like, oh, hold on. I'm trying to like run upstairs because I left the test in our bedroom, and I showed it to him, and he was like, what'd that say? And I was like, it says we're pregnant. And, he chuckles and laughs and is like, okay, that's what's up. Like, he's a New Yorker, so like it takes a lot to I don't know, phase him or rile him up or whatever, but he was just as excited. And at that point I started crying because I'm like, we've been wanting this. Like, this is what we've been trying to do for 2 years. And when you are trying to expand your family, especially in our case, because when we got pregnant with Caden, like, oh my gosh, I feel like we were young. I was 25, Clarence was 28, but we had just moved into like our first 1-bedroom apartment together on, I'll never forget it, October the 26th of 2012. We had just moved into our first 1-bedroom apartment together, and on November the 2nd of 2012, we found out we were pregnant with Caden. So it was like, what? Like, it was just a totally different experience for us, and it was just, a lot for us to grasp. Of course, we took it by the head and did what we had to do, and we are grateful. And, like I said, no issues there, but it was just like crazy. We were young. It was our first go round. We had no idea about taking care of a child, but we made it through. And that's something that, to this day, if you ask either one of us, is like our biggest and most greatest accomplishment, is that we were able to do that. I know a lot of people who have kids, especially if you were in our position, newly dating, just, it's hard to sustain once kids come into the picture. And we've always just been good at doing that and keeping our parenting separate from our relationship, and it just worked for us. So when it came time to have another one, and it wasn't happening as quickly as we thought, it was a bummer for us. We both felt a little defeated. So we are over the moon at this point. It's a little it's less overwhelming than it was with Caden, but it's still slightly overwhelming, only because in August we renewed our lease where we were living, and we didn't even think extra room for a baby, which isn't a big deal, because at the end of the day, like, I know that the child is going to be with us for the first few months. Of course, I know Caden was with us like for the first, like, in our physically in our bedroom, not in our bed, like I don't play the co-sleeping thing, I'm not with that, but with us for like the first 6 months in his bassinet. So not a big deal there, but had we known, we probably would have expanded a little bit, but it's no big deal. Now we do know that, and we've already like started looking just for bigger space and things like that, because who knows, they may allow us to break our lease or something like that. You know, we'll see when the time comes for all of that. But right now we're excited, just planning like a gender reveal and things of that nature. Y'all, I'm at Kroger. But yeah, things of that magnitude, and just soaking it all in that like we did it. We've had our first ultrasound. We got to see the baby. Heartbeat is going haywire, and little feetsies are moving. Like, I'm like, this baby is already like just doing the most. His or hers little feet are moving. I think it's a girl. Clarence swears it's a boy. We went and had breakfast the other morning when he got off of work, you know, just to spend a little time together, and he was like, I'm telling you it's a boy, and I'm like, I'm telling you it's a girl. You know, but we shall see. But yeah, that's everything that's going on right now. We are currently 10 weeks pregnant. I'm going to try to keep you guys updated as much as I possibly can. More so for my memories than for, you know, the sake of like it being on YouTube or something like that. But I will take y'all on the journey with me, because I know there are some of you who are doing the same thing we're trying to do, you know, or we're trying to do, is conceive. And I know some people find these types of videos interesting. I know I do. So yeah, I am beyond ready, beyond like, I'm already like, April needs to hurry up and get here. This little Aries baby, I'm ready for it. But yeah, so right now what we're doing is just kind of trying to think of what we're going to do to expand upon space. More than likely we'll ride out our lease and then, you know, start looking like right after the baby's born as far as more space goes. Like I said, as far as symptoms, I don't really have many, which my doctor says is, you know, every pregnancy is different, which is very obvious, because with this one I'm just not, like I said, I have not thrown up once, knock on wood, and I'm grateful. I have gotten the appetite back. I still have some aversions. I still have really sore like boobs. That's it. And sometimes I'm like a little emotional, like just we'll be watching something and I'm not a huge crier, but you'll look at me and like there's a one lonely tear rolling down my face, because I'm just a little emotional right now. And that's really it. Like, we're really just waiting at this point. Like, I have another appointment at the end of this month, just normal checkup, and then we're gonna schedule a elective ultrasound, which is outside of our insurance, so that we can find out what we're having. And we are gonna do like a little gender reveal party, so that's exciting. But that's where we are right now. Like I said, I'll try to keep you guys as updated as I possibly can. I am getting ready to head into Kroger to pick up some things for dinner. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Like I said, I just didn't have time to do a sit down video. I'm so sorry. Hopefully the next one will be more of a sit down video. But with Kaden being back in school, football season is about to start for him. Clarence working 2 jobs, me going back to work. Like, it's just a lot. So it takes a lot for me to sit down and make a video. So I apologize for it being like low-key vlog style, but y'all just bear with me. Leave me any comments, concerns, questions, anything like that. If you want to know anything in regards to our journey, just leave it in the comments below. You guys know I always answer y'all, and until next time, I will see y'all in the next one.